Hello world, it's Dasha. In this quick video, you're going to learn the correct order of adjectives in English. Specifically and more accurately, we're going to look at the order of cumulative adjectives. And there's also a bonus announcement at the end of this video, so make sure to watch it till the end. So let's dive right in. Now, in general, there are three kinds of adjectives: attributive, predicative, and postpositive. Attributive adjectives are placed before a noun or pronoun. So you would say, I live in a big house, as an example. Predicative adjectives come after the noun and they complete a linking verb, like the sentence, the student is happy. And postpositive adjectives go immediately after the noun or pronoun. For example, is there something wrong? Here, something is the pronoun and wrong is the postpositive adjective. However, when we have a series of adjectives to describe a noun, things start getting a bit messy. Because in English, there's actually a very specific order in which adjectives should be placed. Otherwise, it sounds awkward and it's incorrect. So in English, a string of adjectives can either be coordinate or cumulative adjectives. Coordinate adjectives are adjectives that modify the noun, and we do not care about the order of adjectives because they can be used individually with the noun. For example, I carried a heavy, bulky box across the room. Heavy and bulky both modify the box, and so they are separated by a comma. You can even replace the comma with and, or change the order of the adjectives, and the sentence will still make sense and it will be considered correct. There's quite an easy way to remember this. Coordinate means equal rank, meaning that most of the time the adjectives will come from the same category, like color or physical quality. We'll take a look at categories in more detail in a moment. For instance, a cute, adorable kitten. You could also say an adorable, cute kitten, or a cute and adorable kitten, or an adorable and cute kitten. On the other hand, cumulative adjectives cumulate or combine together as they get closer and closer to the noun to create a more specific meaning. And the crazy part is that they must appear in a particular order, and they cannot be separated by a comma or and. Put differently, cumulative adjectives modify the noun in a specific order. Let's look at a few examples. A soufflé is a delicious French dessert. Here, French modifies dessert and delicious modifies French dessert. Plus, the two adjectives belong to two different categories. Likewise, in the sentence, a black baking tray, baking modifies the tray and black modifies baking tray. And as the list of adjectives gets bigger and bigger, they are said to cumulate as they get nearer the noun. And these adjectives need to be placed in a certain order based on their category, which is represented in this glorious table over here. Now, there are different variations to this table, where some don't necessarily include the quantity, probably because it makes the mnemonic harder to remember, which makes sense. All you have to do is learn this list of adjective categories and you're all set. Indeed, the easiest way to remember it is by learning the mnemonic, which is a mouthful, but you gotta do what you gotta do. It sounds very weird when you say it out loud, and it's actually impossible to pronounce. Maybe not impossible, but definitely really weird. But that's how I would personally remember it rather than remembering each individual letter. As for the categories, the first one is quantity. It's not represented in the mnemonic, but just remember it that way. If you're describing a noun, always refer to the quantity first, like 5 cookies or 5 delicious cookies. Now that the quantity is out of the way, it's time to look into the categories related to the mnemonic. O stands for opinion. An opinion is something subjective, it's personal. When you drink coffee, it could taste good, but I might say that it's disgusting. And the same goes for a person's looks. Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. And so the category of opinion refers to your personal judgment, or just an opinion in general. This includes adjectives like good, bad, beautiful, wonderful, gorgeous, unusual, fantastic, nice, you name it. So you could say a beautiful building. Next is the category of size. This one's pretty straightforward, and it includes adjectives such as big, small, huge, tiny, and anything that describes a size of a noun. You'd therefore say a beautiful big building. And after that, we have physical quality of the noun in question. Is it thin? Is it lumpy? Is it rough or untidy? This differs from the opinion category because this is not necessarily something subjective. Subsequently, there's the letter S for shape, like square or round. And after that, we have the letter A for age, and that includes adjectives like old, new, modern, or young. Next is C for color, O for origin, like France or Spanish, and M is for material. So is the noun made out of plastic, wool, or metal, and so on. And then there's the somewhat obscure category of type. An example of this would be a three-sided triangle or all-purpose flower. So if the adjective relates to a noun's category, like general purpose fertilizer, then it falls within the meaning of type. Lastly, the letter P stands for purpose. For example, an electric mixer, or football shoes, or a mixing bowl. So if we piece all of these categories together to describe this teacup, you could say an exquisite, small, fine, round, antique. It's from Zara. Blue-ish French porcelain cup-like liquid holding teacup? Probably not an entirely accurate example, but give me some credit for trying. If you want to practice your knowledge with the help of today's video, you can download the mini workbook that I've created for you guys. You'll find a link to it in the description box. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today and watching this video. Remember to hit that like button if you enjoyed it, and seriously consider subscribing for more awesome English lessons like this one.